Today we have with us Mohammad Danish, who is Head of Marketing and Strategy for Lotus Portfolio product, which is actually IBM collaborative software at IBM India and IBM South Asia. And we have Ranjini Rao, who is Digital Marketing and Strategy Leader at IBM Software Group. So I'm really privileged to have both of you here with us today. Thanks for joining in. Today's session is actually a case study presentation. The topic of today's session is how IBM leveraged social media to create engagement and to drive audience for their event, which is actually Lotus Fair 2012. And I'm really happy to have the people who actually drove the whole initiative with us today to share their learnings. Personally, at Digital Vidya, our whole business revolves around events, conducting and promoting them. So I was one of the person who was eagerly waiting to hear on how IBM has actually done some remarkable work in this area. So without taking any further time, I would like to hand over the session to you guys. Just before that, I want to set the logistics for those of you who are joining in for the first time. Today's session, we got around 340 registrations, so 60 of us have already joined in, and we are expecting another 40 to 50 odd people will join in. So to make sure that it works, like we get the maximum out of this session, right now all of you are in the muted state, and if you have any question or concern that you want us to address during the session, you can just type it down in the question section. We'll have the presentation for first 40 minutes of today's session, and then we'll have an open Q&A. So while you will be hearing about what IBM has done in promoting the event, you can actually, you might come up with number of questions. So you can just type it down in the question section, and at times we will take a question at the same time, or we'll just address it at the later part of the event. Okay. So that's it from my side. So over to you, Ranjini. You can start the session now.
Hey, thanks Kapil for that introduction. Hi folks on the call. It gives me a great privilege to be here on this platform. Digital Vidya has been doing great significant work in the enablement space, and also in working very tightly and closely with the marketers in the industry and professionals like us to scale up the way we use digital. So having said that, I thought this is a great opportunity for IBM to share with all of you as to how we use social business and social media to drive business relevance. As all of you know, the marketers are really looking at ways and means to use social media channels, and nevertheless, there's a huge outburst of social media channels picking up today from Facebook to Twitter to LinkedIn, and quite a few of us, if you may agree, are a little confused nevertheless, but to which channel we should be focusing on for what purposes, and specifically from a business perspective. So the way the social media wave, as I see it, is really from a like perspective to leading, being a leader in that space. Enterprises have started catching on this wave as well to run their businesses and be there where their audiences are, literally speaking in terms of capturing their audience attention, engaging with them, and really trying to be meaningful to their audiences. In the large enterprise, they are using social technologies to improve employee productivity, to improve business processes, and enhance their client experience. And that's when we say social media is actually changing the way people interact today, if you may agree, building new online relationships, and thereby generating a social graph of where business is moving today. Now I would like my colleague Danish to take you through the actual case study. Danish, over to you.
Thank you, Ranjini. I hope you guys can hear me better. It's challenging, but so just to take from where Ranjini left, we have seen this huge outburst first in the social space, in the digital space, the way people interact with each other, the way they collaborate with each other. All that happened in the last 3 to 4 years, where we saw the emergence of Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and various other digital channels. Okay, uh, what 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 IBM as a technology leader and thought leader saw this trend, way earlier when this was happening 5 years back, and we saw where communication was going. Okay,
Hey Danish, can I stop
we
you?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, Danish. Yeah. So actually, a lot of people are saying your voice is a bit low. So if you could be a bit louder and closer to the mic, we'll try to manage that.
Yeah, yeah. Is it better now? Okay,
Much
I'll be a
better.
little
Yeah.
louder. Yeah, so that's what the trend that we saw, and IBM saw it happening, 3 4 years back, uh, and this was and like you introduced company me in the beginning. What we are into is into social business, part of the story. We were erstwhile called Lotus, where we are just about emailing and maybe instant messaging. What we saw it like the way people collaborate with each other in their personal lives. Why would employees not like to collaborate amongst themselves in the enterprise space itself? Why should we just limit it to email communications within the company? That trend we saw way back, and hence we invested in a lot of social business technology. So we have technologies where employees can connect with themselves, with amongst themselves, with their customers and partners, and have a more productive and a collaborative environment. Not and like I said, it's not Facebook. It's enterprise collaboration. And that's a difference that we kind of identify from liking is the consumer space and leading is when we talk about business in general, and we call it social business. So that was the agenda, and this was the journey we started on about 2 years back. Uh, to, so this was, the challenge was, for us to take this message to our customers and partners, saying that we have evolved from being just Lotus or an email company to a social business enterprise, and that was to be communicated. We want to tell them it's not just Lotus that we sell much more. We sell collaboration solutions. We wanted to tell them how can you use collaboration solutions to improve your customer experiences? How can you make your employees more connected, and hence more productive, hence more nimble? So that was the objective. So this fair has been our flagship event, which has been there for over a decade now. We do that event here. But this Lotus Fair was different. This year we want to announce to people that Lotus Fair is not just about Lotus, it's about collaboration solutions. Okay, uh, and we wanted this message to reach out to not just the decision makers, which is the technology decision makers, the CIOs, the VPITs, but when we talk about employee collaboration, lot more people get involved in that decision making, which also involves a CHRO, and when I talk about customer experiences on sites and on digital networks, it is about CMOs also comes into the picture. Sales leaders who want their team to be more connected and have easy access to data, and hence they can make quick decisions on the move. So our horizon of audience target also kind of expanded. Okay, so this was a challenge in our hand, that how do we communicate? People will walk into Lotus Fair thinking this is a Lotus event, but we give them something different, will be a surprise for them. So how can we do that expectation building, what they are getting into? How are we reviving? So it's a huge challenge, and all of us know that only doing one conference, we are all into marketing job, we all do this day in day out, but uh, expecting a simple conference to deliver this objective cannot be an easy task. So we sat with an agency, we brainstormed internally, and we decided we will not use this conference as a standalone conference, where business as usual way of doing conferences, they're being with agencies, they start telecalling the customers walk in, they attend, they consume the content, and they walk out. That's a very typical business as usual, way of delivering a conference. We said, how about connecting with these people, even before the conference? Don't send them product EDM, don't send them, what they're doing. Just try to engage with them, like exactly what a Facebook or a Twitter does. What do they do? They try to engage with the people at a personal level. they give personalized services, and they give personalized updates, and hence people get more engaged. So that's what we thought. And another plan to it was that our technologies, the collaboration technologies that we use, even if it is email or even if it is, we call it IBM connections or, same time, these technologies, are not just being used by a technology guy in a technology company or in any company. It is being used by users like you and me. It is used by information workers. Anybody who goes to office experiences these technologies. So another objective of ours was also to reach out to those people. Tell them that while you are a smart worker, you go to office. By the way, this is something that is available, to be used from IBM, so that these people, these consumers of technology, can go and ask their leadership team, saying, why we are using email, why are we not using social business? And IBM has this fantastic offering to go. While they are not buyers, okay, just make that.
Hey, Danish, can I stop you?
Those consumers.
Okay. So pretty much, I've been a part of this Lotus Sphere at least for 4 years, and I've seen this brand evolving and the formats evolving, and we as marketers were really challenged in terms of how we can reach out to our target audiences, being in the enterprise space, and still engage with them and take our messaging out to the market using the social media, but at the same time subtly taking the messaging around social solutions so that they become empowered and they also experience what engagement is. So that's when we created a pre-event social media experience called the League of Socials, and it's a social business concept, and it stemmed from gamification. So we realized that gamification was the way to engage, and Facebook gives you that platform to engage with gamification. So we developed an app, and that's where we brought the essence of Lotus Sphere before the event live on this platform. So the entire event was, although we were talking about the various tracks, we subtly took them through a gamification method. So this chart talks about typically the social success that we had. While we had 400 delegates attend, we've had 4,700 online views because we conducted this event live, and 902 fans built across this event phase, which is tremendously good success for us, and about 780 Lotus Sphere tweets. Basically, it was around the event and before the event, and definitely led to business leads. I'll move to the next chart. So what does it say? Basically, Lotus Sphere was determined as one of the best practices within IBM and outside in the industry as far as our agency was concerned. And we took a step back to see what does success look like and how did we go about it. So I'm at this slide which talks about how we went about the entire event in a phase-wise manner. So in an event format, we actually look at four quadrants. The first one being setting the shared agenda. What's in it for the clients? What's in it for IBM to share? And this pretty much talks about the pre-engagement communication plan. So we have to provoke the audience in terms of what's best suited to them. What is the challenge that they are facing today in their business areas, and how can our solutions address that? So it was a situation where we had to create a lot of compelling content, and we also leveraged our celebrity Gulpanag. Having said that, we also built an online social engagement activity where we took them through various fun tasks which were linked to social business. We did a codathon challenge where developers were asked to put forward a challenge, and they had to create unique apps in 24 hours. I mean, Danish was literally there at that place, and he was cheering the developers, I'm sure, and being with them during this phase. And this proved to be one of the key highlights of the event as well, because the kind of effort they put in was tremendous. And how do we engage with sales? So there was a tight sales integration, basically driving from the sales engagement from the beginning of the event for customer engagement and driving on-site meeting with experts. This is pretty much the business side of it. And then we also had a connect event which typically connected the CMO community. So how did we go about driving engagement? So the three-prong approach typically in any engagement phase is to attract. So what did we do there? We created an app which was called the League of Socials and ran a teaser campaign of EDMs to drive the capture of attention to this page. And how did we engage with them? So here is where a lot of planning went through. We had to brainstorm with the agency, with the internal stakeholders and our lab advocates in terms of what would be so compelling for the audience to take and run as a fun task. Because here we're trying to touch upon a social business aspect but still talk to the audiences as individuals. They're still a part of an enterprise per se, but we really had to make the content engaging and engage them well in advance. So we had to design a campaign which actually took 2 months, over 2 months, and we split them into tasks. We put them into groups and we gave them team leaders assigned from IBM side. And that really, I think, worked well because each of them were taken to a level of expertise, getting badges over their phases and getting prizes, and really encourage them to come back to the page. So I'm sure most of you will be having this issue, right, in terms of how do we keep our audiences coming back to us time and again. Probably this would help. And the last phase being inform. So, okay, they took the gamification, they took the fun tasks, and now we had to make them heroes or share this and inform. So we also explained the social business and took this messaging across the EDMs and across the channels through interactive case studies and custom infographics, and also kept informing the heroes that they have won that week's prize or that week's badge. So that's how we kept the ongoing conversation. I'm moving to the next slide. So this entire activity in 3 months, the results are here. We grew from 26 fans to nearly 1,000. So that's nearly 900 plus. And not even that, we also kept an eye on who are registering for the event. We drove a two-pronged approach in terms of engagement as well as driving them to the event. And we reached around 2 lakh friends or fans, which is huge. And we kept the user base active, which was most important, and started measuring how many of them are actively talking about this particular game as such. So this slide gives you a snapshot of how a personal connect was built, because people really like to connect one-on-one and not with a brand per se, and how we unlocked each badge with a goodie and allowed them to make it viral. So as you can see on the left-hand side, we had the various names like social warriors, and we had tasks, we had team areas so that they can go and check what tasks are there for that team. Each one had to update their profile well in advance so that we would know where they stand in terms of their activity levels. And we also had a focal point to take any help, desk queries or support who was assigned from the agency side. And as and when they would complete a task, they could unlock their badges. And on the right hand side, you can see how these tasks look like and what is the status of each task, whether it's done or in progress, and how they are letting their friends know that. So the moment they would complete a task, it would go as a notification to all their friends saying this person has completed this task. So it was automatically made viral. Now coming to this next phase, when I set the agenda, I need to also explain what's in it for them. Why should you be at this event, and how will it help you to get business outcomes? So in terms of a social engagement, we had a social live booth, which actually drove the engagement from on-site, online to offline. At the engagement booth, the tweets were going on live. There were methods of getting opinions and views, and they could participate on ground as well in a special league of social tasks. So we didn't literally drop the ball on the Facebook page. We took it to the event, and the delegates of there were encouraged to go to the site and take part in the activity. This shows the power of social. So basically, the message that we wanted to drive was, how are you leveraging social for your business today? And we really literally proved it by doing it ourselves and taking that experience at the event. And by doing these activities, we also could ensure that we could keep the delegates more active, asking questions, and as a dialogue, more than a monologue. And that's when we marketers as well gain, because we get to know who is our audience as far as social is concerned, so that we can then extend the relationship after the event. To make things interesting, the next slide actually just gives you a snapshot of how we started the event with a unique opening act, social musical that spelled the benefits of going social. As you can see, the delegates were really enjoying themselves. What it meant for the audience was being a part of it, and the theme was collaboration. So basically, how we can collaborate, each music note has to be collaborated well to form a good lyrics or good song. So that was the key essence of what we wanted to do here. And the link of the YouTube is available for people to go and look at it. Now this slide basically is talks about how we recognize this social genius quiz that was conducted parallelly to the entire gamification phase. So we had actually asked the League of Socials to take a final task on site by participating in a genius quiz, and they were asked to collect cheat cards with clues, and they were handed over to various mentors. So this was really taking the face of the mentors on Facebook to the offline side of it. So really speaking, now they had a face, they could meet the SME, they could ask questions, and this is a real good opportunity to connect and interact, which is really not the case in certain online programs, right? You really remain virtual, and you keep that relationship virtual, but that was not the case here. And it turned out to be positive, and a reinforcement that IBM really cares and understands what social means, and that's how we extended the delegate relationship. How are we doing on time, couple?
Fine. I think we can keep more time for the Q&A, and since Danish is also here, so we can reiterate whatever he's saying for everyone's benefit.
Yes. So this chart pretty much talks about the codathon. as to how we went about developing the, gave them a challenge on using IBM's X Pages platform and all within 24 hours, and what they were asked to do. So the participants were introduced to the flexibility of IBM coding, and during the final display of the apps, the audience was introduced to the young talent. So that's how we recognized the developers on ground. So barring that, we had a couple of other attractions like the social cafe and IBM lab section, where the delegates could converse with and collaborate with the SMEs over a coffee, and also meet one-on-one, meet the experts who were the experts in the social business side of it, and exchange ideas as to how they can make businesses more relevant, more social, and thereby progressing the existing leads for us in the system. And also we had live demos, and so that was a great showcase in terms of how we can use our products, what is the capability of social business solutions, and they could also meet with the celebrity speaker, that's Gul Panag, over a live chat. Otherwise, we could have imagined what would have happened there. So this slide talks about how we extended the collaboration element, making the case proven, and collaborating with the experts to define future value. So this was really taking the event agenda to the next level. This conferencing zone was having 100 delegates in each section. So the same idea of League of Socials was applied to this conferencing zone. So 4 teams were assigned each a name, and they were asked to take fun tasks, and they had real good fun. There was a sense of good-hearted competition, and each one was cheering their own teams. So this is again how we brought about the League of Socials into a new set of audience per se, and how we tightly integrated with sales. So this was really a sales initiative, and the intent was to drive audience and how they could interact with senior leadership. And for marketers, it's very crucial that our lead catchers are an integral part of the event, so that they know whom they continue to talk to and continue the post-event engagement. So what we call lead development reps, they were invited as a part of this event, connect with the customers and give a face to the conversations that they make on a day-to-day basis. And sample tweets and updates were being sent to the sales team. I hope this is good, guys, because this is how we can be as a great listening tool to the sales team. So it's really bringing social into leads, getting social add value to business. So here's a success story, guys. I think this is what you were waiting to hear. So you've seen the entire picture, how we drove the pre-event engagement, how we drove the League of social element, how we did the codathon, how we collaborated with the audience on ground, how we leveraged the celebrity speaker, and how we got the entire sales engine and the senior leadership to collaborate with our clients. So in terms of a social success story, this is really it. In terms of 400 delegates participating in 12 deep diving sessions. The Lotus Live was streamed online, so we got 4,700 attendees. We had 60 business partners attending the partners track. We had the social, musical and genius quiz. And we had the social diva, Gul Panag, who was very active on Twitter. She was actively tweeting, and that's the benefit of integrating the celebrity speaker and getting something more out of them, more value out of them, and to be a part of the brand as such. And attendees got social, and they participated. There were 780 tweets, many one-on-one meetings, 902 fans, 880 participants on the League of Socials. And the event was a huge success, and we got good leads. Though at this point we are not able to disclose any leads, but this is the overall picture. So I hope this was useful to you, and as much it's a great learning platform for me and Danish. I'd now like to hand over the session to Kapil. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for walking us through. I know Danish was supposed to actually walk us through all of it, but you presented a very neat picture of what really happened. So before guys, if you have any question, you can now type it down in the question section, or what you could do is, I'm just putting down the hands of all the people who have raised it so far. So if you have any question, you can also raise your hand and then unmute you and you can ask your question. That's also the protocol that we can follow. So one question that I have, you got 400 plus delegates, right? Is there any way you were able to assess what was the impact of your promotion on various social channels, including Facebook, Twitter, and the YouTube, where you actually promoted all your campaign, on the number of delegates? Is there a way you measured that? Is there something you did about that? Danish, anything you want to say about this? Ranjini,
Hello?
Right.
Yeah, no, he's talking, so I just gave him a chance. Yeah.
Sure.
So you can hear me, right? A little better. So
Yeah.
This promotion that we did, solved multiple challenges that we were facing. It was not just about getting the business contacts. We were able to change the impression of what social business stands for in the context of IBM. We were able to generate this community in a matter of 3 months. From 26 people on that page, we rose to about 1,000, and that became a live community for us, and it is still live. Not just business, but from a social angle, if you see, people normally struggle to set up such communities, right? To get different brands to reach a number of 1,000, 2,000. Brands normally take not less than six months to a year, and spending a good amount of money on that. So this helped us set up that community on Facebook, which still till today is live. We keep doing activities, we keep doing a little bit of promotions and product updates. It's become like a perennial channel for us, from an engagement standpoint with customers and social lovers.
Got it.
And obviously there were business benefits as well.
Okay, great. Okay, so I mean, a lot of you who might be from some B2B business, 902 friends might not sound as a big number to you, but believe me, if you really take it as a B2B business into account, 902 fans, acquiring 902 relevant fans without spending any advertisement money through one event, really talks about the kind of stuff that might have gone in at the back end. So that's, I think, really good. Guys, if you have any questions, just raise, right? Okay. Let me see if there are more questions that are there. Okay. So the first question is from Ranache Dasgupta. He's saying, are there any action taken to follow up on the leads in social channels in the days after the event? So, I mean, we've heard that all the promotion you did before the event and during the event, the way you integrated Twitter, but after the event, has social channels helped you in following up with the leads, or have you done anything in that regard?
So let me answer that question. So this actually, folks, was the post-event thank you EDM that was sent to all our attendees, including the handles that we had got a hang of. And for those on Twitter, we send them thank you tweets to the end from that handle. And for those on Facebook, we went and posted the same thank you, our event was a success. So that's how we close the entire engagement. And those where we could put them into a nurture stream was sent 3 touches of EDMs, and that's how we measure. We don't want to boil the ocean and also spam them. So we typically after an event send 3 touches which is relevant to the track they attended or relevant to the topic they were interested in. I hope that clarifies to you, Ranajay.
Yeah, I think that was great. Something that I would like to add, like since we also conduct a lot of events, and this webinar itself is a part of event. So in a way, how we take care of or use social uh, for the after event activity, which helps us in our sales is, for example, all of you right now participating in this webinar. So you itself would update your profile in our database, and that updated database would be available to our CRM team. So in a way, I mean, it's act like a lead nurturing mechanism for us. So and now what we're trying to do is that we're trying to integrate however and whichever way you interact with our social channels. If somehow that information can be passed on to the sales guys, so that they can actually have an effective conversation with all the leads. So I'm sure from the lead nurturing point of view, if you somehow can link the social interaction with the CRM team that your sales guys are using, it would definitely help you in the lead conversion part. Okay, I hope that helped. Okay, so the next question is asked by Dolly Basil. She's asking, is there a product from IBM that promotes social?
Danish, would you like to take that question?
Yeah, yeah, I will use it. Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Yeah. So IBM is so if you ask me that question whether we have any technology to promote social, the answer is no, because all these technologies are already available and free to use, and you can use them. Okay, in your day-to-day life, so you have all the social networking channels, and they are available as a medium. But what IBM does is create, we are into social business, which means, which is providing you these social networking, technologies for you to use within the organization. So, they are more controlled, more secure, more rich. So there are features like you can have live meetings, you can share hairy files without loading your servers. You can have instant meetings on the same time. So that is the type. So we are into making enterprises, businesses more social, because consumers anyways are social. They don't need to buy technologies connect with people. So if you ask me whether IBM is into social, absolutely yes, and we are in fact the pioneers and thought leaders in driving such initiatives. The large companies, not just India, this is in fact the fastest growing, selling solution for us at a global level. So it's called IBM Connections.
I was in the muted state. What I'm saying is that as a follow-up to this, Dolly Vaseem, she's asking a question: was the analytics technology of recently acquired company of IBM, Tea Leaf Technologies, was used in this case? Ranjini, Danish, you would like to take up this question? Yeah.
Yes, yes. So all our marketing channels. So like I said, whatever we sell, we consume, we use ourselves. So not just tea leaf. I'm giving examples of connections. I'm giving examples of IBM portal. I am, with the nurture streams that we put are, identified leads into Unica. So all these, so any technology which helps us, make smarter decisions, in terms of driving our marketing chart, definitely yes, it's kind of inbuilt in our IBM system. We don't even know that we're using them, but they're pretty smart.
Okay. Okay, I hope, Dolly, you got your answer on this. Let me know if there is any further clarification you need. So the next question is from Rohan Koshi. He's asking, how did you get online fans and followers to come for a non-virtual real-life events? Because everyone enjoy playing online, but yeah, that's, yeah,
There was an online streaming. No, there was, so this event was not just on ground. There was an online streaming as well,
okay,
where we had 2,700 views.
right. Right. So, like in terms of the impact that your like you increasing your followers on Facebook have on people visiting for the offline events, is it something been measured? I think I'm asking this question again, but have you measured any such impact, and why was that created? Anything in that regard?
So, like I said in the beginning, our audience was diverse. It was from CEOs to CIOs to CMOs to CHROs. The capacity to which we could, invite people to our on-ground event was limited. We were targeting not more than 400 people. So, accommodating people who were trying, the people definitely tried and registered, for on-ground event as well, but we could not accept them all. But but they were very keen. They wanted to kind of, because of the buzz we created, because of the communication we created, they were really keen on attending it. So wherever we saw value, wherever we saw there was, because imagine, there were students, information workers, young classes goers who wanted to come and attend, but we cannot dilute the audience, because there will be CEOs and, CEO in a business conference with standing next to a very young guy, doesn't leave a fantastic impression. So while we were getting the interest from people to attend, they were all made to attend the online streaming, and they came and attended. It's not that, after we directed they went back. They came and attended and made an impact. And most of them are still connected with us on our social network, which is this community which started with 500 has gone up to 2,000 now, and it's growing every minute. So that was the impact.
Great. So Mohan, I hope you've got the answer. Another question is actually asked by Nidhi, a very interesting question. So she's saying that while we have a decent number of delegates, what were the challenges faced to make sure that the right PG participates and came on ground too? So in terms of ensuring the relevancy, what were the set of actions that you took?
Yeah. So there was this. So the event was by invites only. Okay. So we had a registration process. People could come and register, and there was a database team who was completely, all the time engaging with the audience who were registering and taking decisions, informed decisions, and also communicating to the people who can come and attend and who cannot. So while there were plenty of cases where we had to say no to people, but not in a disappointing fashion. There was a way of, telling them that there is, a typical limited number of seats that we have, but you can definitely go and attend the online event. So there was a team who was responsible only to, drive the, monitor the registrations, communicate with the people who are registering, if they were eligible to be attending the on ground event, they were invited, and if they weren't, then they were directed to our online streaming version event.
Danish, your voice is again going little on the lower side. Ranjini, would you like to add to what Danish has already said?
This is in terms of the event attendees that are relevant, right?
How do you really ensure that the right TG participate and come on ground too?
Yeah. So typically that's what Danish was saying, that really starts from an in-house database, and the stakeholders nominate their clients, and at the same time we use the social media channels. So and of course we had the other agencies call out to the audience. So this was a mix of activities which ensured that we get the right TG into the event. And definitely those on virtual could attend only if that event was in their city. Otherwise, we supported it through a live webinar or live streaming. So it's a mix of sales, nominations, in-house database, and agency support. And every participant, the audience, the TG is vetted by Danish and his colleague to ensure that yes, the audience is right, the mix is right. I hope that answers the question.
Got that. Yeah. And maybe just to add to that, I mean, for sure, in an online space, the kind of targeting options that are available, which include the profile targeting as well as the interest targeting, the amount of relevancy in your target audience or target TG that you're approaching online you can achieve is actually unthinkable compared to the other media. And so what I mean, so but yeah, it needs to be different for different kind of a campaign. So like in our case also, since we only do digital marketing, we do not do any other promotion for all our events, and we could actually reach out to possibly every CXO and every marketer in India with multiple communication. So, but for every channel, we need to have a different strategy in place to ensure that our targeting is brought on where we want. Yeah, but that's something that you need to evolve for every channel separately. I think Ranjini has already explained what IBM did to ensure that, and I can actually walk you through in next 1 hour on what we do. But in digital, it's possible. That's what I wanted to say. So, Puneet, you're asking a question which is actually not relevant to the context of this discussion. I'll forward your question to Danish and Ranjini, and they would actually reply to you individually the same. Bashir, you are actually, I think while we were having discussion on the last question on IBM role in the social tools, so he's provided a link to the social analytics that, so social media analytics that IBM have, which is available in the SaaS and on premium version as well. So thanks Bashir for the same. Sanjeev, you're asking a question. How do you plan to take up social approach beyond metros?
Yeah.
Where the users of FB and Twitter are very less. So any inputs on that, Ranjini? Yeah.
Yeah. So to answer that question, we don't go in an isolated way. IBM being a large corporation, we have several other programs that address that space. So we have IBM Forward View as a platform that addresses the mid-market space. When I say mid-market, is less than 500 to 600 company size, and we piggy bank on their activity. So their primary presence is on Facebook and on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, they really converse with the C-level, with their leader being the face of the channel. And on Facebook, they have a forward view platform where they have chats and they put all content relevant to these markets. So specifically to say how are we segregating that, I don't think that's the point today. The point is how we can get ourselves present there and talk about IBM's presence in the mid-market space, and small and medium businesses can also adopt our solutions and how we can support them.
Got it. Great. And by the way, just to add to that, if we look at the overall reach of Facebook and Twitter, it is it is actually larger than possibly any medium in India, right? So in terms of the net reach, which is also include the people from non-metros, Facebook and Twitter can definitely help. But yeah, if you're thinking, but it is still not more than 6% or 7% of the total population in India. So then you have to look for the alternative medium which other population is consuming. I'm not so sure whether that is actually the target audience of IBM or not. So
Yeah,
that's what I want.
I'd like to digress from here, but I hope we also did another campaign to experiment. It was a pilot one. We took advertising assets, we took case studies, and targeted the non-metros to support the business partner organization. So digital really helped us only get a presence and responses. That's where our pilot experimentation possibly was used up to. So really speaking, it's an area which we want to tap into, but we don't want to go without our partners. So that's really the partners to work. The partners work hand in hand with us in that space.
Great. So, guys, I'm taking up more questions and simultaneously I'm launching a couple of poll questions in front of you. This is actually a question, do you want to improve your customer experience using social business technologies? If you say yes to it, I'll forward your contact details to Danish and Ranjini, and they will get in touch with you, or someone from their team will get in touch with you. So you can accordingly answer this question. So while you're responding to it, I'll take up some more questions. So one question is asked by Prashant Yole. You're saying that social media will very helpful if you have product to sell, but how to utilize this media if you have B2B service offerings. So, I mean, we have talked about, I know you guys take care of the product marketing, but in case of IBM service offering, what are the various ways you are trying to leverage the social medium? If you are aware of some techniques, it will be good if you can share with all of us.
Danish, you have anything to say, or should I add on? So let me answer that question again. So I have a view of a similar kind of my profile internally. So I'm aware that the services team is putting as much efforts in terms of social media presence when it comes to focused on certain mid-market offerings and how they segregate it with large enterprise offerings. So really speaking, they are there. They have a presence, but I can't comment too much. I would want this person to probably connect with them if they're really keen on understanding deeper.
Another thing that I would like to add, like in our case, for example, I mean, what we use it for is lead generation. And I'm aware of a lot of organizations which are purely in the service space, and they are primarily relying on social media. Now, I'm not saying Facebook, but social media in general for their lead generation and branding purpose. Like there is a company based in Noida, which is about 250 plus people in their organization, and they are primarily generating leads through uh, uh, various service-oriented marketplaces like Elance and all. So, and there are a lot of companies like that. So that is also nothing but leveraging social media in a different way. Using LinkedIn for lead generation, using discussion forum for lead generation, a lot of B2B service organizations are doing it. I'm not so sure how much of that will really make sense for an organization of the size of an IBM, but for the small to mid-sized companies, there's a lot of opportunity there, right? In Bangalore, yeah. So I have a number of examples I can share a lot with you, but I think that will help you to try to get an understanding on how it can be used. Please, let me see if there are any further. So Prashant, does that answer your question, or if you want further discussion on it, just let me know. Okay. So as I'm putting up a second poll question in front of you, you guys know that we are into training and we provide online courses as well. So if you're interested in learning from Digital Vidya, you can just mention yes over here and we'll contact you. Someone from our team will contact you soon. Uh, while we are doing that, somebody actually, Ritika, you have raised your hand, so I'm unmuting you. Ritika, are you there?
Hello? Yes.
Yeah, Ritika. So what's your question?
Yeah, my question is like, see, this is all about social media, right? So IBM has really done a great job, but can I expect an answer like, is there any relationship between their engagement and ROI?
Okay. Ranjini, you would like to take a question that, okay, you would get an engagement, but what is the relationship between engagement
I mean,
and
did
ROI?
they get any, conversion ratio, or did they record? Because physically as well as virtually people were present, right?
Yeah, obviously. So the point that we are trying to drive is it's really an integrated approach, and definitely the ROI is then measured as to what audience did digital bring in, or how many did we touch online, and if they couldn't come to the event, that's an ROI because we did it virtually, which means we touched the relevant audience or active audience online. And in terms
No,
of leads, yeah, I'm coming to that. In terms of leads also, we have a separate mechanism of tying the web leads or digital leads into the system with the separate tactic codes. So that's something that's how we measure the ROI.
Okay, actually ROI I was talking in terms of money. I mean, see, because it's really on the long term basis. If we are investing something on advertising our company website and all, so I was just asking in that context.
Yeah, so the ROI for us is the leads in the system. So we will then say how much did we put on digital, but that's not the point here. We are trying to drive a collaborative effort between marketing and digital. If it's a plain digital campaign, yes, the ROI metrics are totally different for me. The dynamics are totally different because I would be measuring that as a plain vanilla. I invested so much money. This is the ROI in terms of what's the returns in leads and value. Here it's an integrated approach. The point we're trying to drive here is how still digital can add value, and as a part of the whole event spend, how did we bring down the spend by taking some of the things online.
Okay.
Couple, did that make sense?
For sure. And I mean, Ritika, as you were pointing it out as well, I mean, ROI really depends on the objective with which you're starting. So if the objective is about lead generation, definitely you can set up the metrics accordingly and see how much of social media is really helping you out. Like, I mean, internally we do that since, I mean, we look into the email promotion, ad promotion, social promotion. So every week I get a report on what number of leads actually came from the social channels and what happened because of which that lead came to me. So we keep a close watch on that since lead generation through social channel is one of my objectives. But for some of the organization, it might be just the visibility and that might be good enough for them. Like most of the registration in this webinar that has happened, it's primarily through the email marketing and through our social promotion. So I know exactly what percentage of you actually come through social promotion. So that's like my objective which I'm getting through social. So idea is that you in the social space, you will be able to get all the metrics right, but you would have to start with your objective and then see how it is making sense for you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much.
Welcome. Another question which I think we haven't answered so far, Ranjini is asking, I mean, we have talked a lot about the pre-event promotion done on Facebook. To what extent Twitter was used? So if you, I mean, we see there was one slide in which a lot of people were tweeting and you mentioned 760 odd tweets you measured that happened during the event. But in case of the pre-event promotion, what sort of activities you did on Twitter? If you could throw some light on that, that would be great.
So Ranaji, to answer your question, tweets were about driving audience to the event by posting relevant content. So, and we were trying to build the relevant followers as well by sending them invites. and trying to tap into by using listening. So that's how we built our followers and at the same time continue to engage them. But as a mix of, if I say Facebook versus Twitter, definitely Twitter was for micro blogging or letting them know what's happening, and Facebook was really from the engagement perspective, because that was where we spent our efforts in terms of engaging the audience, aligning our SMEs out there. So that's basically how we divided the efforts.
Great. So guys, it's actually 4:03. I'll take up just a couple of more questions since we've already exceeded 3 minutes. So Kali, you've raised your hand, so I'm unmuting you. Kali Prasad Pandey, I've unmuted you.
Yes.
What's your question?
Yeah, actually, we are handling in the online marketing for the tech support industry, and we are getting a lot of negative comments on our social media website. Like we are using the Facebook page, and we actually right now I am doing only through the technical news you are posting over the page and promoted through the. So can you suggest how can you use the social media in better way for the tech support industry completely in service sector? Am I audible?
Yeah, sure, you're audible. Ranjini, you would like to take up this question?
So he's talking about the tech support industry per se and handling queries which are of negative sentiment. Did I hear that right, Kali?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a similar I think setup like Developer Works, which handles the developer related questions, and that's pretty much handled on a platform called Developer Works India and Developer Works US. So there we encourage people to come and put their questions, and we align SMEs to answer those technical questions. And it's basically a self-servicing engine per se. So
Okay.
yeah, so if it's a negative, it's about bringing it to a neutral perspective by addressing those questions. So we have specialists handling that platform, and they are the connectors or the facilitators. So over a period of time, when we start seeing self-servicing and the SMEs becoming heroes or the developers becoming heroes on that platform, people start seeing a positive wave of positive wave. I can say how we moved it. I cannot say that it was negative. I cannot say it was positive, but that's how we manage the developer side of it. But I really can't comment on the tech support because I'm not familiar with that space.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I will do something there.
Okay, great. So guys, it's time, I think. So we can, it's time to close the session. I still see there's a lot of questions which are not answered. Shavi, you've asked a couple of them, Asmita, Sneha. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to address it over email, or else we'll sometime within this week we'll actually do a blog post which would have the recording of this event as well. And if you could mention your question which is related to this session in the comment of that post, then all three of us would be active and we'll respond to that. So you would receive an email from our side. So that's like an after event content marketing practices to generate more leads from your side. Okay, so we'll probably do it in a couple of days and you'll get an email notification about the same. So at this point of time, I really want to thank you for participating and want to thank Ranjini and Danish. I know there was like, we actually tried to handle the voice issue for last 1 hour, but we were not able to do it properly. So really sorry for all the people who have faced problem because of it. Thanks a lot. I hope you have got good value out of it, like me, and thank you very much. Ranjini, you want to say anything before we close the session?
Thank you so much, Kapil, and thank you, team. You've been a great audience, and happy to share with you anything that you would want to know more offline. I think this is great.
Okay, thank you everybody. The session is closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
The organ